Hi everyone, welcome to your very first video lesson. So I'm hoping this is going to work really well. Of course, if you find this really easy, you can whiz through this and watch it really quickly. But if you're finding it a little trickier, then it's perfect for you to be able to slow it down or just rewind some sections until you fully understand it. Don't forget to answer all of the questions that pop up on your screen. Might be a good idea to screenshot some of them as well, then you've got them for your notes. All right, so our topic is geology. So geology is the study of rocks, as you can see from my lovely little pictures up here. And it's actually a pretty interesting topic. So let's have a look in a little bit more detail of what we're actually going to be learning about. Move this little guy out of the way. All righty, so here are, let me try and fit them all in. So here are our learning objectives. So these again, just like they were for chemistry, are going to be up at the front of our classroom. Then we can tick them off as we learn about them. The first thing you'll probably notice is that there's not many of them. So this is a very quick little topic. So we're only going to spend about 4 weeks learning about rocks. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is our essential question. So our essential question is, what are rocks and how are they formed on Earth? I'm going to pause now. I'm going to let you type an answer to this question. Now, don't worry if you don't really know what the answer to the question is, because of course we're all going to know by the end of our topic. We're all going to be experts on rocks. So we're going to be budding geologists, as I like to say. All right, let's have a bit more of an in-depth look of some of the other stuff we're going to be learning. So we're going to have a look at what the rock cycle is. So it's similar to the water cycle. So we can change a sedimentary rock into an igneous rock into a metamorphic rock. It all works in a cycle. We need to know the differences between the different types of rocks. So what makes something a sedimentary rock, and how is that different to a metamorphic rock? We're then going to have a look at some ways, and this is where our prac tasks come into it, some ways to identify the different types of rocks. So how can you look at a rock in your garden and figure out what sort of rock it might be? We're then going to have a look at how they're used. So how might you see these rocks used in everyday life, so in the world around you, and what sort of rocks might you be using? You might not even realise what some of them are. We're then going to have a look at minerals. And finally, we're going to have a little bit of a look at mining. So if you know anything about mining, that's going to be really useful in our classes around then. But I think before we can start looking at any of these learning objectives, we really need to understand what are the different types of rocks. So sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic. What actually are they? So let's have a look at what all these different types of rocks are. So the first important thing to know is that rocks are made up of minerals. And minerals are basically just a combination of elements, so elements that come straight from the periodic table. So you can see some of our minerals are things like gold or silver or copper that we find on the periodic table. Other ones might be something like diamond. Now, diamond is made of the element carbon, but it's been, compressed under extreme pressure for millions of years, and it's turned super, super hard, and that's what we call a diamond. So our rocks, every type of rock is made up of different types of minerals. So the 3 types of rocks that we need to know are igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. So if we talk about the igneous rocks first, I'm going to draw a little picture. Igneous rocks are formed, Igneous rocks are formed when a volcano, so I'm getting artistic here, erupts. That, liquid that comes out of a volcano is called lava, or you might have heard it being called magma. So magma is what exists when it's underneath the earth. So in the earth here, that would be magma, whereas lava is what it is up here when it's been spewed out of the volcano. So when this lava or magma cools down, that is what we call an igneous rock. Now, a sedimentary rock is formed when, so we're looking at sedimentary, basically when a whole lot of sediments or little particles of dirt or dust or sand, when they all settle on top of each other. So it might look something like this. Do a few different colours. So there'll be different layers in a sedimentary rock. And over millions of years, a lot of pressure occurs that pushes these together, these sediments, and they then become compacted together to form a sedimentary type of rock. A really easy one to identify is the conglomerate, this one here. Right, that's easy to tell it's sedimentary rock because it looks like a whole lot of different rocks that have been almost glued together. Now, a final type of rock is the metamorphic, and that's sitting just here, metamorphic rocks. Now, these ones are made whenever you take either a sedimentary rock or an igneous rock and you subject them to extreme heat and pressure. So it's not enough heat that they melt and become liquid magma, but just enough heat and pressure so that they change and they start to look different and they have different properties. So there are three types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. So now that we know about them, we can start to learn how they're formed and how they change from one to another as well.